Their opponent in that state title game will be one of these two teams. Minot hosting Fargo Davies in the other semifinal. Eagles up 7-0 here in the first quarter. Minot battling back. Kellen Burke calls his own number, gets to the sideline, rumbles for a few more before being wrestled down by the goal line. They punch it in just a few plays later to tie us up. But Davies doesn't lose control. Option look for Xavier Muse, fakes the pitch, and he has an open lane from there, speeding away. The Eagles reclaim that lead. Into the second half now, Davies up by 10. Minot needing a break, and that's exactly what they get. Landon Bedell dives to force the fumble. Mason Eichhorn falls on it to give possession back to the Magicians. But the Eagles have the magic on their side. They hold strong on defense and secure the first trip to the Fargo Dome since 2014. Eagles with a 24-7 win to advance.